this opportunity to come here and meet you all. मेरे को एक कॉफ़ी भी प्रॉमिस करी गई थी, बट वो मिली नहीं अभी तक. एंड मैं पीछे देख रहा हूँ, सब लोग कॉफ़ी पी रहे हैं यहाँ बैठ के. Anyway, I must put on record this Operation Sindoor that we've been talking about. It's a national victory. My thanks to each and every one of Indian here. I'm sure every Indian contributed towards this victory. Like it has been said again, that this was an operation which was executed in a very professional manner by everybody, all the agencies, all the forces. We all came together, and जब सच साथ होता है तो सब कुछ अपने आप हो जाता है. Since we were taking the path of truth, I think God was with us also in this. As far as the trust is concerned, we've been talking about trust. Actually, there is nothing much left for me to say amongst what was written in my book by my staff, because everything has already been spoken. I'm very grateful that at least the army didn't get a chance to speak before me. Otherwise, again, I would have landed up speaking the last. So, trust for defense forces, it is intrinsic. Our default setting is trust. And when we say building trust, we don't understand what is building trust. Because when we join any force, when we join any group of people, when we join any squadron, it is not built over a period of time. It comes for the first sortie. The very first mission that you're flying, you have to trust each other. Because your life depends on somebody else. Somebody else's life depends on you. Your one mistake can cause some kind of a failure. And we all work like a chain. We all are, everybody, not just the chief. Even the smallest person in an organization, especially in defense, is like a link in the chain. So everybody has to do their part so that they don't become weak. That particular chain will break from the weak link. So all of us work towards that I am not that weak link because of this chain work. Because of whom the chain will break. So when we talk about, a nation, then all of us in these groups, Army, Navy, Air Force, various agencies, industry, DRDO, all of us are again those links in a bigger chain. And we all have to make sure that that group that I belong to is not the weak group because of which this chain will break. And that is what is trust. That if I am trying to be strong enough not to let this system break, everybody else is also trying equally to be strong enough, to be competent enough in that game, or at least being aware of where the shortcoming lies and improving that system. So building trust is not required with armed forces. I think armed forces, we are born with trust when we're born in the armed forces. But retaining that trust, keeping that trust on, depends on a lot of actions. Obviously, if you see a person is failing you again and again, the trust will break someday. The trust will go down, and we have to keep reinforcing that trust. This Op Sindoor, as it is, like it was told by Chief of Naval Staff, that character of war is changing. Every day we're finding new technologies coming in. Technology is coming in a big way in our warfare now. And Op Sindoor has again given us clear idea of where we are headed and what we need in future. So a lot of work needs to be done in realigning our own thought processes also, which is already going on. And I'm sure since we have been able to come up to the challenge till now, in future also we will be able to deliver the goods as a nation, and we will be able to achieve our objectives. The point that was brought out by Honorable RM as well as Defense Secretary, that the fact that AMCA, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, I'm not calling it what generation, because finally when it comes out it should be of contemporary generation, but that AMCA has been cleared for even participation by private industry, which is a very big step, and that is the kind of, I think, confidence that the nation has in private industry today. And I'm sure this is going to pave a way to bigger things coming in the future. As far as the Indian Air Force is concerned, I know we are a seafaring nation, and we need to be the big naval power. But I think whether it's a land power or naval power, Air Force will always remain. The air power will have to be interesting to both these. Any kind of operations that we do, we can't do it without air power, and I think that has been proved very well during these operations also. So our focus as far as air power is concerned, we need to make sure that we have to have the capability plus the capacity. This again has been alluded to today. We cannot just talk about producing in India. We need to start designing and developing in India also. And when it comes to producing in numbers, the capacity comes in. So we need to have this trust between the forces and the industry continued. We need to have the communication continued. We need to be open with each other. We need to be very open and forthright with each other so that this relationship doesn't break down anywhere. You know, that pran jaye par vachan na jaye. I am just told today only. I think that is something that we have to do. That एक बारी जो हमने commit किया है, फिर मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता, है ना, वो वाले. I'm not going into numbers. Air Force is trying its best to do maximum possible as far as Make in India is concerned, MAKE program, IDEX program, the number of orders that have been given to the Indian industry, some of the rules that the government made. I'm not saying that we would have come on this path on our own. There were times when we were always, doubting the Indian industry that it cannot give us the kind of return that we want, it cannot give us the product that we want, and we were looking outward more. But over the last decade plus, I think things have changed quite a bit. A rap on our knuckles has made us think inward and look inward, and then we realized that yes, there are a lot of opportunities that we have within India. And now also the current situation in the world has made us realize that Atmanirbharta is the only solution. But we have to be now ready to be future ready. So that is the concern, that yes, I can look at next 10 years, we will have certain more output from the industry, Indian industry, we have from the DRDO. But what is required today is required today. So we need to quickly get our act together, maybe get into some quick Make in India programs so that we can achieve that now ready part of it, while Design in India continues to produce results in the near future or maybe later. And of course, like I said, this war was won by a whole of nation approach. The same approach needs to continue while talking about empowering the defense forces. Actually, it is not just whole of nation approach, it is, we have to be whole of nation mission mode, if I can call it, to make sure that we accelerate and produce results. So, they said your coffee is ready. So I need to hurry up. So I will just tell you 2-3 things what we can do in towards rebuilding the trust or continuing with the trust. One is R&D budget. I think it has very clearly been brought out by everybody that we need to invest more. If I think people from Punjabi community will understand something called Daswant, that we said 10% of our earnings should go back towards the society. So something like that CSR has been started. I think something on those lines we should start, that if I am earning so much of money should go towards R&D, towards defense of the nation. That every industry has to come up with some plan. And we need to have, thank you, madam. We need to have, I think clapping last के लिए छोड़ते हैं, मेरी कॉफी रह जाएगी नहीं तो. Adequate, impetus toward disruptive technology, and also, though it was said very clearly that, incentive doesn't get you people, it is the environment that gets you people. But I think to some extent we need to create some incentive, some good environment so that we get the best people for the job. We are not able to get the best people for the job. People are going outward, they are going and working from other countries. I think we need to retain them here by giving them good payment, good incentive, good work environment, maybe some recognition. Timelines is a big issue. That is where that Vachan part comes in. So once a timeline is given, not a single project that I can think of has been completed on time. So this is something where we have to look at. Why should we promise something which cannot be achieved? While signing the contract itself, some of the times we are sure that it is not going to come up. But we just sign the contract. Uske baad dekhenge kya karna. Obviously, then the process gets vitiated. Capacity building, I've already talked about. संयम की बात करी थी RM ने, restraint. So even defense forces have been, keeping this restraint of not calling, a black sheep a black sheep. We've been trying to encourage people, but somewhere it will break down someday. So I'm sure let's stretch the thread, the elastic to that process where it is not breaking down. As far as keeping national interests first, I think we've talked about. And with this now situation where we are going, where we are opening up towards the private industry, I'm just reminded of a quote, something that Winston Churchill has said, and I'm going to quote him. To each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered a chance to do something special. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared for that which could have been their finest hour. So my request to you all will be, this is something that can become your finest hour. You have a tap on your shoulder. Please rise to the occasion, come together. If today somebody is manufacturing world-class cars, world-class electronic, world-class equipment in the civil domain, why can't that industry or some of the industry join together and say, we will make world-class military equipment, even if it doesn't give me the profit that I'm looking for. Let's rise together to make this nation a great nation. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. And Jai Hind!